broadcast live event, it's okay. But I will try to leave this video online in case you want to check it out. And then if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you very much. 15 hours ago, this headline from CNN updates: 67 million people, 67 million watch the Harris and Trump's debate, blowing past Biden-Trump matchup, Nielsen said. But 67 million is conditioned on the United States soil. We're talking about the world, and around the world, there's way, way much more than 67 million. Patrons watch the ABC presidential debate between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris during a watch party in a Union Pub in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday, September 10th. This is a picture from Tristan Rose and on CNN. The first presidential debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump drew an estimate 67.1 million viewers across 17 national television networks, according to Nielsen data. Tuesday, the debate in Philadelphia, hosted by ABC News and aired across 17 television networks, easily surpassed this 51 million. It turned into the June debate hosted by CNN between Trump and President Joe Biden. Then there was 51 million, now less than 67.1 million. While Tuesday's debate drew the largest television audience of the year, it represents a drop in total audience from 2020, when more than 73 million people watched the first debate between Trump and Biden across all television networks. In 2016, a record of 84 million tuned in to the first debate matchup between Hillary Clinton and Trump. Viewership habits have changed dramatically since 2016, and Nielsen does not account for the myriad of streaming and social media platforms that many also use to watch Tuesday's debate, while fewer Americans watch the debate on television than on previous election years. Millions more watch on digital platforms. ABC drew the most viewers with more than 90 million people turning on, followed by NBC with more than 10 million and Fox News with more than 9 million. Okay, 15 hours and 41 minutes ago, RFK Jr. to attend first campaign event as a Trump surrogate. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his spin room in the spin room ahead of the debate at the Pennsylvania Convention Center in Philadelphia on Tuesday, September 10th. Robert F. Kennedy, that's a picture over there, is set to attend his first campaign event as a Trump surrogate since endorsing the former president last month, according to a news release from the Donald Trump J.D. Funds campaign. Kennedy will appear with former Representative Tulsi Gabbard in a moderate discussion and a Team Trump Reclaim American Tour event in Glendale, Arizona on Saturday. White House, a photo of Biden wearing Trump hats was gesture by partisan unity. The Shanksville fire station POTUS spoke out about the country's bipartisan unity after 9/11 and say we need to get back to that. As a gesture, he gave a hat a Trump supporter who then said that in the same spirit, POTUS should put its Trump cap. He briefly wore it. White House spokesman Andrew Bates explained via X, or X, sorry. The White House is offering an explanation of a photo circulating that shows President Joe Biden wearing a Trump's hat at the firehouse in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, earlier Wednesday. Inside the fire station, Biden briefly donned a Trump's hat as an apparent gesture of bipartisan unity. A White House spokesperson said the president was talking about how the country was united in the aftermath of the September 11, 2001 attacks and said it needed to return to that. Handed a hat to a man wearing a Trump cap as a gesture, and that man gave it Biden his hat to briefly wear, the spokesperson said. Picture shows Biden smiling widely while wearing the hat. At the Sharksville Fire Station, Potts spoke about the country's bipartisan unity after 9/11 and said, "We need to get back to that." As a gesture, he gave a hat to Trump supporters that then said that it's at the same period Potts should put in his Trump cap. He briefly wore it, a White House spokesperson Andrew Bates said on X. Now, the next news coming on 16 hours and 33 minutes ago, persuadable Pennsylvania voters said they want more specific from Harris. John London has known that Tuesday's debate began when she would not vote for Donald Trump, but when it ended, she was in the most unfamiliar place, ready to cast her first vote for Democrats for president in battleground Pennsylvania. By the way, Harris clearly warned, say London, an attorney who lives in conservative Berks County, and I am now voting for her, even though I have many serious policy differences. London became a Republican when she turned 18, a fan of Ronald Reagan's brand of conservatism. Early this year, she cast a primary vote for former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, then switching her registration to independence because she sees Trump as an angry populist. Until this week's debate in Pennsylvania, though she planned to honor her conservative principles on right and some other Republicans, but everything changed when the former president repeatedly refused to say he believes and was critical that the United States stand with Ukraine. Trump said he wanted to end the war and suggested he could negotiate peace between Russia and Ukraine. Conservatives do not negotiate with communist dictators who invade other countries, London said in a post debate text. It will take Trump losing decisively to reform the GOP, and it will be back when that happens. Several voters who are undecided or leaning toward Harris on Trump, uh, but open to change their candidate, Kim Harris, for more positive reviews from for her debate performance. Several though significantly said she was not specific enough in explaining her policy proposals. Kamala Harris says she wanted to lift up the middle class, but now what? But how? Said Linda Rooney, a Holly primary voters who lives in Pennsylvania suburb. She also voiced concern about Harris shifting her positions on fracking and other issues. Cynthia Sabatini, the Reagan Republican and never Trump voter, plans to write in a conservative or vote third party unless Harris wins her over. The vice president did not do so Tuesday night. She is a good debater, Sabatini said, but in my opinion, she needs to answer questions on point. Specifically, Sabatini said Harris found out of the gate when asking whether she believes Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago, and again on questions about border. And now this is interesting as coming up on the update of CNN Politics and live TV right now, 15 hours and 44 minutes ago. Taylor Swift posts lead to upstick on visit the borders registration website. Federal agency says. Here's the picture of Taylor Swift performing on stage on Wembley Stadium on August 15 in London, England. Taylor Swift has called for to encourage people to register to vote, maybe having an impact right away, according to the General Service Administration (GSA), a federal agency that provides governmental services. As at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, September 11th, there were 337,826 visitors to vote.gov vote.gov refer to the custom URL created and shared by Mrs. Swift, a spokesperson for the GSA, told CNN. It was not immediately clear how many of those visitors registered to vote. Vote.gov, which is the link Swift has shared and her endorsement, is the federal government's voting registration site run by the GSA. The website directs voters to their individual states and territories to register to vote and provides answers to frequently asking questions. Swift endorsed Kamala Harris in an Instagram post on Tuesday night. I also want to say, especially to first-time voters, remember that in order to vote, you have to be registered. I also find that much easier to vote earlier. And I'll link where to register and find easily voting dates and info on my story, Swift Post Raid. Vote.org also saw a huge spike on engagement around the debate and Swift endorsement. A spokesperson for Vote.org told CNN there was a 585% jump in voters on the website between 9 p.m. through midnight ET during the debates and shortly after Swift's post endorsing Harris' Wars campaign. While voter engagement across the country likely increased also due to the debates, the CEO of Vote.org attributed the spike in part to the Taylor effect. Taylor Swift's impact on voter engagement is undeniable, Andrea Hawley, Vote.org CEO, said on a statement to CNN. The post was updated with more details on the reaction from Vote.org. Now, there's another update 17 hours, 21 minutes ago. Democratic Senator praises Harris's performance against uniquely difficult debate opponents. And there's a picture of Chris Coors speak with the reporters on Wednesday, September 11th. Democratic Senator Chris Coons praised Vice President Kamala Harris's performance in last night's debate, noting that she was up against a uniquely difficult opponent, informed President Donald Trump. I almost never seen a candidate do as well as Kamala Harris did what she needs to do: stay on message, convey to the American people what she is going to do for a middle class America, largely ignore the battling and the personal attacks, fact checks and push back on occasion, but largely stay positive on a message, Cohen said. Donald Trump, former President Trump, is a uniquely difficult debate opponent because he doesn't tell the truth about anything, he added. Asking whether the debate moved to the needle at all the vote for voters, Coons argued that it did by mobilizing Harris's supporters and possibly swimming some undecided voters. I also think it will be moved to what is a very small number of unpersuaded voters or voters who has gone back and forth. See, he said. Um, I received a letter from Statistics Canada. Um, I also think it will be moved that is what is a very small number of unpersuaded voters or voters who has gone back and forth. He said, a senator from Delaware also criticized Trump's unsustainable claim that Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio, are eating pigs. Whoa. That was a misleading story that has, I would argue, ill intent that has already been debunked and was deployed almost on cue by Donald Trump and make what was a fairly vicious anti-immigrant slur, Cohen said. Now, the 17 hours and 36 minutes ago, Jeffrey calls for Trump to be given cognitive tests after debate. House Minority Leader Haskin Jeffrey called for a cognitive test to be given to Donald Trump. saying his debate performance Tuesday night left him doubting the former president's mental acuity. Can someone give this guy a cognitive test? Jeffrey said to reporters Wednesday. It's not clear to me that he is actually mentally fit to do the job. Jeffrey pointed to Trump's echoed false claims that Haitian immigrants in Ohio are eating residents' pet dogs and cats. It was hard to follow some elements of the debate when the Republican nominee is making up stories about people eating cats and dogs. You can't make this stuff up, Jeffrey said. Vance dismissed Swift's endorsement of Harris as he discussed presentations for oncoming VP debates. Republican vice presidential candidates G.D. Vance dismissed the impact of Taylor Swift's endorsements of by President Harris, arguing that she is a billionaire and is fundamentally disconnected from the interests and problems of most Americans. When grocery prices go up to buy 20% up, it's hard for most Americans. It doesn't hurt Taylor Swift. When housing prices became unaffordable, it doesn't affect Taylor Swift or any other billionaire. It does affect middle class Americans and all over our country, Vance told Fox News. Swift signed her endorsements as childless cat lady, an obvious reference to Vance's controversial post comments. Vance said his speech to women's voters is that the former President Trump will return public safety and an affordable cost of living. Donald Trump's delivered policies that lowered the prices of groceries, lowered the prices of housing, and most importantly, Donald Trump's delivered public safety in our country, Vance said. As the vice presidential debate approached on October, Vance said his aim to be as well versed in the policy as possible. The way that I think about this is an opportunity, Vance said. I get 90 minutes to talk to the American people about how Donald Trump can make their lives better. We are going to talk about a lot of policy. I'm trying to talk to read and just understand as much as possible, what Tim Walz has done, with what policies he's support, and how is so different from a prosperity and peace that Donald Trump's delivered, Ben says. 19 hours and 19 minutes ago, Trump campaign launched ad featuring clips of CNN's interview with Harris. A new ad launched by the Trump campaign on Wednesday features clips of Kamala Harris' high-profile interview with CNN earlier this month, while slamming the vice president and the Biden administration over inflation. The ads opened with a clip of Harris saying that via Bidenomics is working. Subdata frequently reference on pro-Trump ads and proceed to clips on news coverage about inflation, including one from Harris' CNN interview in which she is present on the cost of living. When it's coming to the economy, groceries were less expensive, was more affordable when Donald Trump was president, CNN's Donald Bash said in the interview clip. The ad's narrator picks up, yet Harris is still saying Bidenomics is working. No, isn't it? No, isn't it? The economy and inflation has been given a major point of attack for Trump and his Republican allies, in addition to their emphasis in immigration and crime. Several of the most recent ads from the Trump campaign have focuses on prices, including one saying that Kamala Harris cost to the tie-breaking vote that create America's inflation, a reference to the Paris line vote on the Inflation Reduction Act. The new ads began airing this afternoon on Georgia, and the Trump campaign's quick deployment of sub bites from Harris' first major interview since became the Democratic nominee underscores the Harris campaign's cautious approach, the press availability, another point of criticism from Republicans. All right, so we're going to finalize this live interview with one last Update from CNN Politics this morning. It is 11:19 a.m. on today, 12th of September 2024. This is Omar Diaz from Scott in southern Quebec. Former President Donald Trump says Steen is still waiting whether he will engage in another debate with Vice President Kamala Harris after her team immediately called for a second debate in October. I will do NBC, I will do Fox too, but right now we have to determine whether or not we ever want to do, Trump said after visiting the Shanksville Volunteer Fire Department in Pennsylvania. We are looking at it, Trump said. When you win, you don't necessarily have to do it a second time. So we'll see. When you don't win, it's like a fighter. When a fighter has a bad fight, get knocked out or lose the fight, the first thing he said is want a rematch. So if we win the debate according to every single poll, we are we going to do a rematch? I just don't know, Trump said, but we're thinking about it. CNN's flash poll after the debate found that no registered voters who watched the rally agreed that Harris overperformed Trump. As CNN reported this morning, a top Harris campaign official declined to say whether Harris will agree to a second September 25 presidential debate on NBC following Tuesday's performance. Trump said it was very polite between him and Harris this morning, who shook hands at the 9/11 ceremony. Just very polite, Trump said when asked what he said to Harris. Now, several GOP senators gave Trump poor reviews on debates performance. Several senior Senate Republicans gave former President Donald Trump poor remark for his debate performance last night. Well, last night, I mean, this update is about 19 hours and 26 minutes ago. Here's what they said: asking if they through though if they though Trump took debates last night from Vice President Kamala Harris. North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis said, "I do." Tillis told CNN, if you don't heed advice of people who are specialized in certain areas about messaging, about what do people really respond most of the terms of your legacy, when you do not heed the advice of experts in politics, you are probably going to go into dangerous waters, they said. Texas Senator John Cornyn, who is running for GOP leader, will not say if he believes that Trump's acquitted himself well. Instead, he said, I think he is going to win. Is that the question? I thought the former was no one that was very helpful for him. He said, as a criticized moderators, that's for sure going to happen all the time. They're going to be the moderator into like Kentucky Senator Ron Paul, who has yet to endorse Trump but plans to vote for him, say he wants more of commitment to fiscal responsibility and more of commitment to continue the investigations of COVID. Others were more critical. Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski, who isn't backing his re-election, said, I don't think it was his best evening. Maine Senator Susan Collins, another Trump critic, said, I don't think the debate was helpful to undecided voters because it did not illuminate the position of either of the candidates. Senator Roger Marshall of Kansas Republican said he didn't know who won the debate, but I can tell you who the real loser is, and that is America. And Americans didn't get to hear anything about what Kamala Harris' policies really are. You got it. 19 minutes and 19 hours and 20 minutes ago. Walls reflect on the horror of September 11 attacks at Minnesota events. Here is the picture. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz speaks during a day of service commemorating the September 11, 2001 terrorist attack in St. Paul, Minnesota on Wednesday. Minnesota Governor Martin Walz participated in a day of service commemorating the September 11, 2001 terrorist attack in St. Paul on Wednesday, where he spoke proudly about Minnesotans coming together in the wake of a tragedy, creating volunteers and packing donations boxes. Appearing in his official capacity as Minnesota governor, Kamala Harris's running mates recall learning about the attacks on the morning of September 11 in a classroom in Malcoto West High School, where was though were before entering politics. He remember experiences that moment of disbelief and watching young faces try and comprehend the horror that was in front of them. He was reflecting positively on the states responding to the tragedy by coming together as a community. I remember that morning very clearly, but remember the morning after that when on the streets I had never seen American flags before. They started to come out, and people who hadn't talking that much together started talking together. Uh, it may have not lasted as long as we have like it, but there was a moment of unity around shared values. There was a moment of unity about caring for one another. There was a moment of unity that we are all in this together and that we are really rally around. Wall said. Wall's remarks were followed by brief remarks from Cindy McKinney, whose husband died in the World Trade Center on September 11 and helped organize the National Day of Service commemorating the day. Was then selling packages on oatmeal and help out to put them in boxes to be donated as part of the date of service. Harris, President Joe Biden, former President Donald Trump, and Senator J.D. Vance are also commemorating the tragedy of the attacks today. All four leaders were on New York and Wednesday for a commemoration event at Ground Zero in Manhattan. Okay, you guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching this live event. I'm going to do that more often. I think it's just taking time in order to have plenty of self, how you say, insurance, consolidation of yourself in front of the camera, which I don't have any in general. But I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Myself, I'm a 60 years old man who born and raised in South America in Paraguay. I became Canadian in 1999, that's 25 years ago, and I came here first time in March 1994. That is 30 years ago. So I am here right now, settled down after a long time walking and cycling and living as a nomadic lifestyle. Adapting myself and the scenario and the world scenario. Been in many places around the world, and in fact, I was in Australia, uh, residing in Sydney. And the moment of the COVID hits the world in 2020, and I had to return back to Canada since then. And so far, I haven't done much, but I've been at the islands at the beginning of the season by bicycle, and so it was okay. It was good. Always, I said, you know what, you should do this cycling, and go away forever or whatever. Well, I guess I enjoy my boredom. Let's say that, because it's living in a small town, I thought that. But if I revamp my YouTube channel right now, became more, approachable and excited, and to go ahead in this project. I guess life is, you know, put me in a situation more, let's say, uh, yeah, in a more dynamic way. Let's do that. Yeah, I learned to make to do to be more disciplined and to follow my agenda and my activities accordingly. And so this is will be take time. I appreciate your likes, your share, and especially subscribing. And so Please, guys, subscribe to my channel. Thanks very much, and see you guys later. Bye bye.